Hey guys, Nick Drossos. Before we start, go visit my website, nickdrossos.com, for our new self-defense step-by-step program, as well as our fitness, nutrition, and motivational videos. It's called the Hero Program, so I'll put the link in the comment box. Now, this is for my good friend Sergio from Practical Combat Martial Arts. He asked me to make a video and explain the passive stance, the various different stance, the psychology behind it, as well as the benefits of using it versus, the traditional, put up your hands and fight. Now, I'm going to go back to my experience working as a doorman in nightclubs. A lot of times I was face to face with somebody who was, sometimes mouthing off, sometimes a little bit challenging, and I couldn't do this. I couldn't be like, the guy's just talking to me and he's telling me, hey man, I want to get in, and what's your problem? I can't be like, yeah man, what, you want to fight? And I also didn't want to keep my hands down and do this shit, right? Because I knew how I could be open for a strike. So I'm going to teach you guys 3 passive stance, the psychology, and how to set them up, and also how to go from one stance to another. So the first one is arms crossed. Simple as this. So a lot of times, my hands would be up and I'm talking to the person this way. What does this mean? He hasn't challenged me, he hasn't threatened me, he might be coming in my face, but he hasn't really done anything for me to go from here, right? A lot of people use the passive stance immediately, but the person hasn't come up to me and done anything. By doing this, you're basically letting your attacker, well, there's something that just doesn't make sense. I haven't done anything, I'm just talking to you, and you're getting into a passive stance. So what I like to do is keep one arm crossed here. So the reason why I keep my arms crossed, go grab me, Costa, my hands are up, okay? If you go to punch me in the face or whatever, my hands again, go around, if he goes for a hook, my hands are up, right? They're up to close, jam here, jam up, close to the middle, right? Because hand is quicker than the eye in this range. Okay, his hands are down, my hands are up, and I'm prepared to defend, but as well to go preemptive. If I want to strike, I can strike the throat. Just look how simple it is. You feel that, Costa?
Yeah.
Now, could it matter if I go whack and I smack him here, or I can elbow up or elbow this way? Again, by the time my hand leaves, and his brain says hand is coming, I've hit my target. So this is, I call it the crossed arm. Now if you do this, don't cross your arms this way, because if he blocks, he'll jam both my arms. So my arms are just, one's here and the other one's lying on top. I can also strike low, I can strike straight to the nose this way, okay? The second stance that I would do is a bending stance, okay? So you can easily transfer from here to here, where my hands are coming up. Now this, I would use it when I'm like, okay, shit's about to hit the fan. My intuition tells me something's up. I'm gonna go from here to here, and something I'll bring here. I'll bring my hand up where I create distance between me and my attacker, and at the same time, my hand is up to palm to strike the throat, and if he go for something, my hands are up, okay? So I can easily go from here to here. Again, I'm creating distance. If he was moving around talking to me, I would be this way, be like, what's up, can I help you, do you want something? And I'm trying to diffuse the situation. Again, he hasn't fully threatened me yet, I'm just still talking to him, but I want to make sure that I'm not getting sucker punched. I want to make sure that I have my hands up, right, and I'm ready to strike if I need to, straight into the throat or underneath. Now, from there, let's say he pushes me, he goes, what's your problem? Now we go into the passive stance. This is what a lot of instructors don't teach and don't get. The stance, the passive stance is used when the person is aggressive and in your face. So I can go from here to here and to here. This is when the person has gotten into my face and I'm thinking, okay, shit's gonna hit the fan. There's a fight that's about to go on. We've passed the point of diffusion. I'm bringing it up. I'm still trying to diffuse a situation, but now this is the optimized stance that I have, where I'm keeping the opponent, the attacker, back at bay. I'm trying to grab the middle. I'm closing off the center line, trying to go around, and I'm opening up anything that comes around. Now, a great question I get, a lot of people teach the passive stance. And I was teaching a seminar in Greece, and he was teaching the passive stance, and I said, the thing with the passive stance that a lot of people do wrong is they're taught to bring up their hands. How high should you bring your hands? If I bring them up here, he sees my hands. He sees them as a threat. Do you see them, Costa, here?
Absolutely.
Makes you nervous a little bit?
Of course.
Now here. He doesn't see my hands. What the idea is, you want to put your hands under your field of vision. So your hand should go underneath his field of vision. So he sees them, but he doesn't see them as a threat because they're not close to his face and his eyes. It's going to be normal. He's going to pick that up. So you bring them a little bit lower. So I'm here. Why am I here? If he tries to go around, I jam, middle. I close it off. At the same time, by keeping my hands up, I create distance, and at any point, I can go preemptive. One of my favorite strikes from here is a double palm strike. One hand comes forward, other one comes up top, snapping the neck back. Anybody can do this. I teach this to women. As simple as I'm here, I step in. When I step in, I'm also covering, I'm launching my attack through the ground, on my hips, going through the target, snapping the neck back, moving completely forward, going through the target. It's a one-hit strike. I've done this and practiced it over like 100 times. I've hit the bag probably 1,000 times. So I know that this strike is enough for me to go step in. And whether he flinches or not, a principle that I teach is aim big and hit big. Use your biggest weapons and hit the biggest target. So whatever I hit, I know I'm doing damage. I'm going in with all my power and I'm snapping the neck back. So you go from here to now he pushes, or he's in my face, and now I get into the passive stance. Now when you're in the passive stance, I'm going to go a little bit further with this, and I teach this in the program. What am I looking at? His hands. Does he have a weapon? Is he angling off? Is he pacing? Is he taking a step back? Where is he moving? What is his body language saying? What is he getting ready for? The quicker you know what to pick up on, the faster you can be proactive and react to either defend or, most importantly, go preemptive and finish the attack as quickly as possible. The psychology behind all this is the element of surprise. I don't want to let my attacker know that I'm getting ready because I want to strike him. I don't want the attacker to know that I'm setting up a low strike or a high strike. I don't want to let him know that I'm trying to defuse, I'm lowering his guard, or raising his ego, because I want to basically sucker punch him and go preemptive. So you want to use that element of surprise, right, to strike your opponent, your attacker. So this is a very important. Now you look at the psychology between me going, yeah, once I do this, the fight is on. You know, some people tell me it's a sucker punch. Call it whatever you want. But I didn't pick a fight with him. He came to pick a fight with me. Costa's bigger, and Costa's really strong. We've boxed. We've done some grappling. I know that I don't want to square off with this guy. I want to hit him first, and I want to get out as quickly as possible. Again, guys, you're not fighting in the ring. You're fighting in the street. It's about survival. So at the end, you got to set, the limits of what you're going to do. Am I going to let him do the first strike and build enough momentum, or am I going to go preemptive and take him out as quickly as possible? And this is what these stands do. As well, I'm going a little bit more in detail. The great thing about these stands is they have a quick release and an easy follow through, that if I go strike the throat, my hands are already up to come up with anything else. If I decide to go double palm strike, I can follow with a rake and I can go right into an elbow. So again, the psychology behind them, the delivery, to me, is a lot better than this. And again, working in clubs, most fights happen in close quarter range. Other than ambushes, many times just pushing, shoving, mouthing off. And what you want to do is use these stands to lure him in, lower his ego, lower his awareness, raise his ego. If you could diffuse at all costs, but then you got to make that decision, and if you do, to go preemptive. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Go check out my YouTube channel as well, because Sergio is going to be making a video for my channel as well. Sergio, I want to thank you. I love what you're doing and what you're teaching. Guys, thanks again. Go visit my website, nickdrossos.com, for our step-by-step self-defense tutorial, as well as fitness and a lot more. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and stand strong.